Okay. Now we are going to discuss about on what grounds is censorship justified and what are its limitations. So first of all, we must have to know about what is censorship. Censorship is the act of suppression of speech or other public information which may be deemed objectionable, harmful, sensitive, and politically inconvenient as determined by a controlling authority. So if government thought that a particular speech or particular information which is detrimental for the society, which may create problem for unity and integrity of the country, which may create the question of law and order, and when these type of speech or informations are suppressed by the government, that is known as censorship. So censorship is not a new concept. It is there from time immemorial. During the time of Plato even, he was in favor of censorship of certain books. He said that before publishing or before bring out a book, he said that it is very much necessary to read it properly, and if some objectionable things are there, censorship is necessary on that literary activities. So according to Plato or other people who were in favor of censorship, they said that censorship is necessary for protecting children. Why for protecting children? Because their mind are in formating stage. They may not be in a position to grasp all the truth and all the facts. So for the interest of the student, for their mental development, for their mental psychology, we should have to put the truth in a simple way so that the children can understand it. The most important and harmful expression of others may sometimes create tension in the minds of the children. So it is necessary. Censorship is necessary. Secondly, censorship is also necessary for governmental stability, because if there is freedom of speech and there is no limitations on freedom of speech, then people will start saying whatever they want to say against the government. Some of this speech may be detrimental for the security, for the stability of the country. So in our constitution also we are enjoying the right of freedom of speech, but there are certain limitations. And if necessary, government can impose 144. You are aware of the fact that people cannot gather in a particular place, and even in newspaper also, if necessary or anything, government can introduce censorship. So for government stability, for running the administration of the country smoothly, or for the betterment of the society, sometimes government use censorship, and censorship is also sometimes necessary for protecting our traditional values. Because people are actually, some of the people are very much traditional, but most of the people are modern in their outlook, and now they are becoming educated, and some of the people are started questioning each and everything of the past tradition, past civilization, past past way of life, etc., etc. But all of us are aware of the fact that tradition, cultural identity, then our habits, then conventions, these are also playing a very important role in our life. We cannot give up all these things only for sake of giving up. So sometimes censorship is also necessary to protect the tradition, protect the culture, protect the historical heritage of the country. Because all the time people are criticizing the government, and truth may not lies with those criticism. So sometimes we are bound to, support the censorship. But what happened, in a democratic country or in a parliamentary government like our country or like England at whatever may be, there one concept is there, and that concept is known as cabinet dictatorship. So what is cabinet dictatorship? Dictatorship is opposite term of democracy, but our country is a democratic country. So why the word dictatorship is there? Here dictatorship means if a particular political party got absolute majority in the parliament, then they will generally remain in power for 5 years. And they are aware of the fact that as they are backing by majority support, so they can take any initiative, they can pass any laws, any rules, any regulations to fulfill their own agenda. And here we found that if this type of government impose censorship, control the voice of the people, impose obstruction on the way of life, that is very much detrimental for the development of the country. And sometimes though revolution may not take place, but sometimes people may give their answer through the ballot box after 5 years. So any democratic government, though they are enjoying that system of cabinet dictatorship, that means they are enjoying the power at least for 5 years and no one will remove them from the parliament. Okay, they may sure about that, but in spite of that, they should not have to misuse the power. Because without criticism, truth cannot come out. Criticism is necessary. Then rejection is necessary. You must have to feed yourself so that you can respect the word no. You must have to respect criticism of others, and you try to find out whether you are correct or not. By dominating others, you cannot do anything for a long period of time. So for the sake of truth, for the establishment of real truth, for the establishment of real democratic tradition, it is very much necessary for the government to invite criticism, invite differences, and after that find out which is right and which is wrong. Only as you are enjoying majority power, you should not censor or you should not try to control the voice of people. You give them opportunity, let them say, and after that you find out which one is applicable, which one is not applicable, because ultimate power lies with you. You can pass law, you can do many things, but at least you give the opportunity to the people so that they can openly express their views, express their opinions, because it is their country also. So if we take the example of our country, there also we found that what happened during the time of emergency, it is the extreme form of censorship, that emergency period. So, and people of India realize the lesson from emergency. So we hope that no government will dare to create an emergency situation again in India. India is a democratic country and democracy is our tradition. We always follow the principle that of give and take. So India is a country of diversity. So if we are not in a position to respect diversity, respect differences, respect criticism, we cannot flourish in our life. So censorship, okay, we must first have to find out where the government imposed the censorship. After that, we must have to find out whether it is really necessary or not. If it is not really necessary, then we must have to criticize the government. But all of us are aware of the fact that freedom of speech also should not be unlimited, because unlimited freedom of speech sometimes bring problem for the state. Peace, tranquility, law and order, all these things are also very much necessary for the strength of the government. So we must have to decide both sides, whether it is favorable for the country or whether it is created problem for the country. But criticism only for the sake of criticism only because their ideology is separate from me, that is not true. You try to criticize the government if it is really did anything harmful for the society. So both the government as well as the citizens, both are responsible for creating a real democratic atmosphere in the society. And and main thing is that we must have to justify everything from our own context. We should not try to bring the example from other countries. Context is very much necessary. In which context what is going on? Then only we can establish that, okay, censorship is good or bad. What Plato was saying, that is also to certain extent is applicable. Because nowadays what happened, in the name of social media, everything is coming. So here we face the problem, how the students are facing problem nowadays. All these things, that suicidal tendency and all these things are increasing day by day because there is no censorship. Earlier there was only one television that is also regulated to certain extent by the government, but nowadays number of what I can say, that media, and some of them are they are just misusing those power. So here we should have to come forward and we should have to appeal to the government, okay, certain check are necessary. Certain control is necessary. Social media should not do many things for the and very often we found that some rumors, some fake news are there in all those social media, because these are private organizations and there is a competition among them for that TRP and all these things. So for these reasons, we are facing now a very problematic period. Okay, social media is necessary. Social media is doing many things for the people, many positive things also. But it will depend on us how we are using social media, whether it is only for the sake of our interest, only for getting money, or we are really interested to spread the message which are necessary for the people to know their country properly. So thank you.